Joining me now is Republican political analyst Melik Abdul. Malik, setting aside the horrific, everything about Afghanistan that was a disaster, I want to focus really with you tonight on the politics aspect of it, because I believe that's what they're focusing on. They're only worried about the political aspect of it. We've seen what they've done. There have been no resignations. There have been no apologies. It's actually been one gigantic celebration, acting happy about it, blaming Trump. Is this going to be effective? I know it's not going to work on me. I know it's not going to work on you, but it is obviously a political strategy they're confident in. Do you think it works?
Well, I think, if we have to actually put will it work in context? Will it work for the media that is overwhelmingly liberal, overwhelmingly in support of Joe Biden? Absolutely. You can see how they kind of tap dance and some even very gingerly respond to or ask questions of the administration. So I do believe that eventually the media is going to get on board with whatever it is that the White House is saying. But we know that if the situations were reversed, Donald Trump would be pilloried all across media. And, the narrative would be is that, you have this Republican president in office not caring about the people. And much like they blamed the COVID deaths on Donald Trump, they would blame our brave soldiers who died. They would blame that also on Donald Trump. So, yeah, it's going to work within the context of a media that is overwhelmingly favorable to any Democrat, Joe Biden included.
Malik, I have made a prediction, and I have no inside information on this at all, but I've made a prediction. It would make the most sense for Democrats to toss Biden out, and I thought they would over this whole thing, kind of just force him to do the resignation thing. He looks and sounds as bad as he's ever sounded. No matter how they spin it, the American people are mad as hell about it. The poll numbers show that every single day. Why not make Biden the sacrificial lamb? He's not running for re-election anyway.
Yeah, well, I think probably the biggest thing is that they realize that Joe Biden does not have a very strong VP. So even if we get rid of Joe Biden, we also have Vice President Harris there. So I think there's that realization that she's not really in a strong position to take up the mantle. I've said many times before that I don't think that Biden will last beyond midterms, but he's failing even earlier than what I expected. But I don't think that there's a lot of confidence, and the vice president, herself has not exuded a lot of confidence that really makes people feel comfortable with replacing him, because at the end of the day, if we replace him, Kamala Harris is the heir apparent.
What is it about her that makes her so unappealing? And that's not my personal bias. I mean, look, Democrats can't stand her, let alone Republicans. They cannot stand Kamala Harris. And look, from a purely black and white standpoint, she's good looking. She speaks well. She's got a long political history, yet people loathe this woman. Why?
Well, I think a lot of that is because, some people will argue that it's sexism. Some people will argue that it's racism. But the fact is that Kamala Harris is not a great politician. She may have been great as an attorney general. Some people believe that she was great as an actual U.S. senator. But when it comes to being a politician, Kamala Harris drops the ball each and every time, which is why she left the race on a national standpoint. She left the primary with, I believe, less than 3% of the national vote. She's just not a strong politician. And for those who will argue that it's sexism or things like that, there are some women who make great politicians. I'm not a fan of AOC, but when it comes to being when it comes to her being a politician, or even Nancy Pelosi in that way, when it comes to them being politicians, they have a sense of strength and believability that Kamala, she just simply does not have. She will not have even when she runs in 2024. It's just not there for her.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.